Most people think you need to have millions of views to succeed on YouTube. However, I started my channel in October and I've had just over 12,000 views, and I just had the best Q1 in my agency's history as a result of my YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the key things you need to focus on to make money with a small YouTube channel. There are 5 essential steps that you need to take, and number 5 is the most important. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you how I trained my mind to stay positive during this difficult and frustrating period of growing my YouTube channel. All right, so let's get started with step number 1. And this is all about getting your mindset right for success. Chances are this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. It was for me. But I want you to keep this in mind. This journey is your responsibility. There are no external forces holding you back. It's all in your hands. Think of this as a train that's stationary and you're trying to push its start. And of course, it takes a lot of effort at the beginning, but it builds momentum and will eventually lead you to a golden city. This was definitely one of the hardest things that I've done in my career. And what makes it so challenging is we all have the hope of the expectations that we're going to go viral, we're going to get a lot of views, and that just probably isn't going to happen. It didn't happen for me. It's probably not going to happen for you. But here's what I want you to keep in mind. The frustration that you're feeling is directly related to your lack of knowledge and experience with growing a YouTube channel. It is not an easy task, so don't have high expectations at first. It wasn't until I kind of hit a low point where I realized I really just didn't know what I was doing. And what helped me overcome this was to realize that I'm a beginner. And all successful creators were at this moment also at one time. The key is to keep pushing through it and to keep learning. And my first reaction was that when I wasn't getting a lot of views, that the audience was rejecting me. But in fact, they're giving me critical feedback on what I need to learn. And this is why it's so important to just start posting videos, because you need that feedback from the market to know how you can improve and eventually get to be the creator that you're looking to become. The key takeaway here is to be ready to learn a lot and have low expectations when you're starting out. When people start something new, it's very rare that they're very good at it. You're not going to be that good at the beginning, but that's okay. That's part of the process. Try and enjoy it. Now let's move on to step 2, and we need to set some goals. It's so important to get focused right from the beginning and set goals, because oftentimes I see so many new creators chasing so many different things that just don't matter. When you're beginning, the most important thing for you to be doing is to create and publish your videos. I love to make the connection that starting a YouTube channel is just like starting a business. If you're starting a new business, sales is the most important thing, because obviously you need the cash flow as a lifeline, but more importantly, the market never lies. And you have to get your product or service out there and get feedback from the market so you can understand, number 1, that there is a market for what it is that you're trying to sell, but also how you can make it better. You need to take the same approach with your videos. Your videos to begin with probably aren't going to be that good, but the ultimate gauge of how good your videos are is your audience and the market. So you need to be posting and seeing what the feedback is. What are the results? And then you can take that information to learn and focus on something to make your next video even better. And that's how you're going to grow. To help you with setting goals, I've created a worksheet for you. So let's hop over to my computer. Let's start with the definite chief aim and true desire. I've got some text here that you can plug in. And the point of this is to clearly state your main aspiration or the primary reason why you're starting a YouTube channel. That's step number 1. Then let's look at the channel focus and the content strategy. Describe the niche, type of content, and unique value you'll offer to your audience. Next, let's look at the channel growth goals for the first year. So we're going to plug in how many subscribers we want to get to, the views. And you know what? I'm going to say this. When it comes to these kind of goals, I think it's better to set big goals and miss them than to set small goals and reach them. And I always say goals are like boats. Little ones aren't much fun, so go big. Another aspect here is I like how you specify how many uploads you're going to do per month. That's really important because during this entire process, it's really important to stay consistent. So it's good to kind of have that kind of goal here. Most people don't think about that. And then look at engagement milestones. So, likes, comments, I'm telling you, shares is the most important thing. That's what's going to get you the views. So focus on that. Now let's talk about monetization and revenue goals for year number 1. Your monthly income, your revenue sources, how you're going to get them, and then your annual revenue goal. Now I'm going to say when you're just starting out for your long format content, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Don't be too focused about that in the first few months. There's more important things that you have to learn that will set you up for success, and your efforts to become monetized will compound over time if you start the right way with the right foundation. Now let's talk about your tool goals. Same thing as before. We just want to plug in subscribers, views, videos per month. But now here's something else. The long-term vision beyond year 3. So briefly outline your long-term vision for your channel's growth, impact, and sustainability. I'd say at this point, this is just a placeholder. This is a journey for you. Things are going to evolve. Maybe your interests or your audience during this process might evolve, and these things are going to change. So this is just merely a starting point to get you focused. We're not setting any of this in stone. That's the purpose of this entire process. I really love this, how to invest in wealth building strategy. So if you're starting out, you need to reinvest this into your journey. So just like a business, when a new business starts to make money, you need to reinvest it to keep the growth going. You need to take the same approach with your YouTube channel. And of course, since you are the heart of this channel, what kind of development and commitment are you going to take in the next step? So what skills and habits are you going to develop? And finally, what are you going to give back to your audience or the community? What kind of value are you going to continue to deliver? And be specific. Are there specific maybe charities or things that you would like to do with some of this growth that you've experienced? I think it's really great to kind of identify these things early on. Now, if you would like a copy of this template, you can head over to my free school community, AI Marketing Mastery. It's a group for entrepreneurs and content creators who are looking to grow. Basically, I just share everything that I do in my marketing agency with everybody in my school community. So I give you the marketing techniques and the strategies that I'm using that I've had success with. And I also share the AI tools that I've implemented in my own agency so it can essentially help you grow your brand. All right, so now that we've got your mindset and your goals identified, now we need to talk about your niche. This is super important for you to start off on the right foot. However, I've already done all the work for you. I've created a series of prompts for you to use that will walk you through step by step in the right progression to pick the niche that's perfect for you. So let's get started. The first one is we're going to start with your personal interests. Based on my interests, list your interests, which ones would translate effectively into sustainable and engaging YouTube content? Here's another way to look at it. Considering my passions and the YouTube channels I frequently watch, which niche ideas could I realistically stay excited and motivated about long term? Now, if you're using deep research with ChatGPT and these prompts, it'll actually ask you for the channels that you're referencing or that you frequently watch. That's a great opportunity for you to plug in some additional context here. With all of these, the more context you can give it, the better results you're going to have. Now, the reason I start off with interest is because this is going to be a long, hard journey. You have to enjoy what you're doing. So that's our first step, but it is not the most important one. Next, we want to talk about what your level of expertise is, and this is really important. See, to start off the right way, you don't want to pick something that you don't know a lot about, because you're going to have to learn a lot in this entire process. You don't also need something else to learn. And you will be more comfortable on camera and more confident when you're talking about something that you already know. So that's what these series of prompts are all about. Given my specific skills, list your skills. How could I leverage these strengths to provide unique and valuable content that stands out on YouTube? Considering my background in describe your field or expertise, What niche topics could I uniquely explore to differentiate myself from other creators? Okay. Now we're starting to move towards getting your content in your channel something that's unique to you, which is really important. Next is we need to understand your audience, their needs and desires, and this is the most important prompt of this series. So you have to relate your content to your audience. And so if my channel focuses on your topic or niche, who would be my ideal audience? And what are their primary needs, interests, or problems that my content could solve? That's really important here because most people just start off with something that they think they know or something that they want to do. And that's kind of a dead end. You need to take the next step and identify if there's an audience that actually appreciates or is looking for that type of content. So what specific value, educational, emotional, or practical could my YouTube content consistently deliver to ensure deep audience engagement and loyalty? This is super important. However, you're going to do more than 1 or 2 videos, so you need to have inspiration over a long period of time, and that's what these next prompts are for. How can I maintain fresh, engaging content in the niche over an extended period? Suggest diverse subtopics or reoccurring themes for sustainable content creation. Now for this next prompt, you can actually give it your availability during the week and say, given my schedule and resources, what posting frequency would be optimal to grow my channel sustainably in the niche without experiencing burnout? Okay, now this is a little controversial because I even saw this in my own channel. When I was posting 3 times a week, I was seeing consistent growth. However, with my schedule, it's not possible for me to do 3 times a week. Now I'm doing a video per week. However, I have seen people with large channels that are experts in the industry say they're seeing things trend right now as of March 12th of 2025, that they're having success with longer form videos that are higher quality and they're only posting once a week. So you're going to hear a lot of different things here. The important thing is really start posting, do as many as you can without burning out and getting exhausted. Next is the market demand and your competition. Assess the current market demand for your niche. Is this topic robust enough to attract a substantial YouTube audience, and what signs indicate its potential? Another prompt is, who are the leading creators currently successful in this niche? What makes their approach effective? And are there gaps or underserved areas where I could uniquely position my channel? This is really important here because you need to kind of dance around this a little bit. Number one, you want to find people who are having success in your niche, and you sort of want to replicate maybe the overall theme of their video, but it's really important for you to put your own spin on it, and your video just has to be better than theirs. So keep that in mind when you're walking through this exercise. Now let's tie in our goals with this channel. And so align my YouTube channel with personal and professional objectives that are achievable goals, such as revenue generation, becoming an industry expert, or cultivating a community. Could I realistically target by focusing on your specific niche? How could my content in the niche positively impact my audience in a meaningful way, enhancing their lives and addressing significant challenges? And at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I've had a lot of great success with my agency with very few or low view numbers. And part of that is because I've also started a school community. And this is where I funnel my YouTube traffic into my school community, where I nurture people, leads, and other entrepreneurs within the community and serving them. And it's really, I've gotten some amazing opportunities from this process. So this is why if you're a coach or a consultant, having YouTube as sort of your marketing arm, it creates awareness for your brand, but then pointing them to a platform where you can build a community is absolutely, I totally endorse this. It's been really a game changer for my agency. All right, it's really important to be authentic and to relate to your audience. And so here's some prompts to help with that. What strategies or approaches can I use to authentically present myself and my experiences in the niche, ensuring my personality and values resonate clearly with my audience? Next, in what ways can I ensure my content deeply resonates with my viewers' emotions, values, or daily lives, creating an authentic and relatable connection? This is really important information, and it's honestly something that I still continue to struggle with. This is very much part of my journey in having confidence on camera. It's still not like a natural conversation for me, but it's something that I am constantly working on. And these prompts will kind of give you some insight on how you can improve that for yourself. Now let's build a case that you can actually make money at this. We're going to look at monetization and the potential on how to scale this. So what monetization methods, ads, sponsorships, courses, memberships could effectively support financial sustainability and growth within the niche? And how might I scale the impact and income potential of my YouTube channel over time? Suggest potential partnerships, innovative tools like AI, or marketing strategies to help expand my reach and profitability. To actually get insight into this like right away is actually a huge confidence builder for you. And it's great to have this on your radar because it actually can also help you with content. If you work this into your strategy from a content standpoint as maybe a potential partner down the road, it will make your pitch to these other partnerships that much easier, showing the interest level you've had with similar content. All right, in this final prompt, we're going to bring it all together. After evaluating passion, expertise, audience demand, consistently, competition, goals, authenticity, and monetization potential, does this niche represent a sustainable, fulfillable, and impactful choice for my YouTube channel? Summarize your recommendation clearly. All right, so you'll know after this prompt if you have a viable YouTube channel. Step 4 is we need to define our audience, and we need to know them better than they know themselves. And I've got one big prompt for you to use where you only have to change a small section of this prompt, and the results and the response you're going to get from AI are pretty incredible. Let's take a look. I have the prompt up here, and it's assume the role of a market research analyst. Your mission, craft a thorough buyer avatar for. This is the only part that you have to change right here. You input your specific product or service or your niche right here. And then you want it to represent the ideal dream buyer. This avatar will pinpoint the most probable customer, one who resonates with, values, and consistently chooses your product or service. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but basically it details out the demographics, the psychographics, behavioral traits, pain points and needs, decision-making process. This is how you get inside the head of your ideal customer or your ideal audience. And that's so important because it's so much easier to create content that will resonate with your audience when you can read their mind. Think about it from this standpoint. If you were a salesman, how much easier would it be to sell somebody something when you knew what they were thinking? If you knew their objections ahead of time? Well, that's what this process does. It's incredibly important for you to do this. And of course, this prompt is available in my school community. The link is below. After you've completed these prompts, I'd love to know the niche you came up with. Share it in the comments below. Now it's time for step 5, and this is the most important step of them all, and it is to publish the right content consistently. So yes, you have to get started. You need to start publishing your videos. I see so many times people are chasing other things and really they're just avoiding publishing their videos because they're afraid of the results. But understand that this is part of the process. Again, I like to connect it to a small business, starting a small business. The most important thing is selling your product or service in a new business. So your YouTube channel is the same way. Your videos are your product. You need to understand how the market is accepting or what they like, what they don't like about your content. And that's the feedback that you need because it tells you what you need to learn next. And this is critical. So the less experience you have, the faster you need to put content out there so that you can understand what you need to work on, learn that, implement it, and then make each video just a little bit better. That's the process you need to follow. Another thing to keep in mind, and I see this mistake a lot with channels, is when people start out, they start just spraying all kinds of different topics or subjects. And really, what you have to understand here is not only are you creating content for your audience, but there's a middleman involved here, and that's the YouTube algorithm. I like to think of it as you're dating the algorithm, okay? The two of you are trying to figure each other out. So the easier you can make the algorithm understand what your channel is all about, it makes it easier for the algorithm to find people that will enjoy consuming your content. So you're really creating content for two audiences in the beginning. Really all the time is for the algorithm and also for your ideal audience. So when it comes to content, keep it narrow. You can certainly have 3 to 5 different columns that your content can fall in, or different themes, but they still have to be related. You don't want things totally unrelated. Up to date, I've posted 40 videos, and let me give you some simple tips that I've learned that will definitely have a huge impact on your success. And that is number one, the main reason you're getting low views is because your title and your thumbnails are not very good. So take some time. There's a lot of resources out there on how to write great titles and how to generate great thumbnails. Spend hours studying this because even the experienced, the experts on YouTube's with big audiences will say, I've heard them all say, 80% of your reach or your views is coming from a successful title and thumbnail. There's absolutely strategy behind it. And I guarantee if you're seeing low views, that's the reason why. Now, how long should you wait until you change your title or your thumbnail? And which one do you change, your title or your thumbnail? This is all part of the process. I wish I had this totally dialed in. I have a few times modified my title and my thumbnails. When I wasn't truly confident in them, typically I would give it a few days. Some people say you should give it at least 7 days or 2 weeks. I've never waited that long. It seems like within the first few days, I can kind of get an understanding of how well it's doing and if I need to make a change. So what you want to look at is the amount of impressions you're getting and the amount of clicks, your click-through rate. If your click-through rate is like 1% or less than 1%, 2%, it might be time to change your thumbnail or your title. Another tip is to have a detailed process or a checklist for creating your video. There are a lot of things to check off and make sure that you accomplish in a video. It makes it a lot easier if you have a checklist to follow. And finally, enjoy this process. This is going to be a really difficult journey, but you have to enjoy it because you know what? You're learning, and that means you're growing and you're improving, and that is a great thing. So just keep in mind that take a long-term approach to this. This is not something you're going to do for a month. Think of this in years. Think of this as 1, 2, or 3 years. And just imagine, after you've had some success, after a few months, just imagine where you're going to be in 2 or 3 years. And I guarantee that will help get you through the frustrating and the tough times. Now, this has no doubt been the hardest thing I've done in a long time, my YouTube journey, but it has been incredibly empowering. And so I want to share with you the statements that I said to myself when I was in a bad place, when I had a negative mindset, and I was just overall really frustrated. The first off is dealing with setbacks. Number one, setback is a terrible word. These are not setbacks. These are moments where the market is telling you what you need to learn. This is a moment for you to improve yourself. And that's how you need to look at this. It's essentially the market telling you you need to learn something. And when you started this, you knew that you didn't know what you were doing. So this is just the market keeping you on track. Now, at the end of December, I'm not going to lie, I was pretty down. I had set some lofty goals and I didn't hit them. and videos weren't getting a lot of views. It was just sort of like, okay, why am I doing this? What is it really worth? And here's the statement that I said to myself, and I say this to myself on a regular basis. It absolutely gets me through the tough moments. I simply would tell myself, look, you're not lucky. Volume negates luck. Believe in yourself and don't give up. Now, it's a pretty simple statement, but honestly, whenever I would say that to myself, the stress and the anxiety and the frustration would just kind of like leave my mind. And now I could think clearly and just focus on what my goal is and to keep pushing through. So find something that will do that for you. Have a go-to statement that when you're in a bad place can take you out of that bad place and get you in a positive mindset. And finally, remember that success on YouTube is not measured in views or shares or likes. It's about delivering the right message to the right group of people. Believe in yourself, trust the process, and know that each video you create gets you one step closer to the creator you want to become. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.